Welcome to this course of Braille Proficiency. Once again, my name is Odette, a lecturer in the Department of Visual Impairment Studies, Faculty of Special Needs and Rehabilitation, Kyambogo University in Uganda. In the last lecture, we went through the letters of the alphabet. Today, we are going to learn how to write and read Braille. You are welcome. Today, we are going to learn how to write Braille using a slate and a stylus. A Braille slate is also known as a hand frame, and it is used to write by people who are blind. In the first lecture, when we were going through the historical background of Braille, we discussed that the reason why Ruiz discovered Braille is because blind people were reading embossed print, but they did not have the opportunity to write. And Braille gave blind people the opportunity to write. There are various writing equipment for Braille. One of them is a Perkins Braille and a slate and stylus. Those are the two most common devices that we use here in Uganda. For the purpose of affordability, we mostly use a slate and stylus in Uganda. A slate and stylus go for 15 USA dollars. That is between 50,000 to 60,000 Uganda shillings. However, a Perkins Braille goes for between 3,800,000 and 4 million Uganda shillings, which is approximately 1,000 United States dollars. So, for purposes of affordability and inclusive education, where we encourage all children to appropriately have materials, appropriate materials, we encourage using a slate and stylus. A slate and a stylus have also some advantages. They are portable. A child can put it in a bag and keep this one and move with it and use. They are handy. They are easily used, and I had also said they are very affordable. So we are going to learn how we can use it to read and write. Let us first examine the slate. A slate has two sides, and one side is perforated with holes, and the next side has lines. In the second lecture, we examined a Braille cell. Each of these lines are a Braille cell. On a slate, on a single slate, we have a line of 30 cells. Each of the cells has 6 dots, dot 1 up to 6, as we had seen in lecture 2. The perforated side also has the same number of cells. So together, we use a Braille paper. This is not ordinary paper, it is a thick paper. So we insert a Braille paper in the slate and we close all the corners. Once we have closed, we don't open, not until a learner has completed writing or brailing using a stylus. And when one gets attempted to remove the Braille paper, it becomes difficult for him or her to go back to the line where he was. That's why we encourage that once we have closed, we do the work till when we either complete the exercise or till when we complete the paper so that we insert a fresh one. How do we know the position of the slate or the hand frame? Now, on this side of the slate or the hand frame, there is a depression. The depression is on the right hand side of the person holding it. We are going to write together letter A. Yes. And I have already told you that on our cell, letter A is on the left hand corner, as that is the reading position of letter A. Now, the writing position, we are going to write it in the opposite position, where 4 is on the reading position. So, A, we leave a space. Space in Braille is calculated. Is calculated in such that it takes the whole cell to leave a space. While in print, space is not well calculated unless it is typed work. In print, some people have handwritings which are very tiny and they may leave small space. But in Braille, we leave standard space. And whereas in print also, some people are extravagant with spacing. They may write that big letters and words and they leave large space. But in Braille, we uniformly use a cell for a letter and a cell for space. So we are going to practice writing letter A. We click in the right hand corner, A, we leave a space, 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 A, we leave a space till when we come to the end of that line. Good. In Braille, practice is very, very vital. Remember, we want to acquaint you with proficiency in reading and writing Braille. It is very, very important that you acquaint yourself with skills of doing it proficiently. We don't encourage mistakes. Because when you frequently make mistakes as an instructor, then you confuse the learner who is blind. So, we leave the paper in. And we assume that when we remove it, the dots you have made for letter A will go to the right position for reading. But we are now in writing position. We continue with letter B. So, we go to write letter B. Letter B is made of dots 1 and 2. But that is in the reading position. But in the writing position, we use the opposite dots, which are dot 4 and dot 5. Let's now write letter B. We go to the cell, we write letter B. By pressing dots 4, 5, we leave a cell. We press 4, 5, we leave a cell. 4, 5, we leave a cell. 4, 5, we leave a cell. And when you gain speed and accuracy, you find yourself writing cell, 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 cell. That is the speed I want us to move at. But the speed will come with practice. Speed will come with practice. One thing I want to mention, even though we struggle trying to press the opposite dots, there are some 3 letters which are very easy to write, even though we are using the reverse position. The first one is letter C. For the simple fact that when we are writing letter C, whether it is the other way around on the reading position or the other way around, the cells remain constant. They remain, the dots remain constant. It remains dot 1 and 4, both in the reading position and in the writing position. Can we practice that? It's very easier to write letter C. It is very easy to write letter C because the dots remain constant in the reading position and in the writing position. Can we do that? So letter C, dot 1 and dot 4. 4, 1 space, 4, 1 space, 4, 1 space, 4, 1 space. That is letter C. Another letter that is simple to write, which is not affected by the reverse order, is letter G. When we are writing letter G, the dots remain both also in the writing position and in the reading position. They remain the same. That is dot 1, 2, 4, 5. So when you turn it, it remains the same reading position. When you turn it also, it remains the same position. Can we also practice together letter G? And you'll find that it is easy to write, the same as G, as C. That is G, we leave space, we leave space, we leave space. The third letter that is easy to write is letter X. The reason why letter X is easy to write is that you just dot the 4 corners. 1, 3, dots 1, 3, 4, 6. 1, 3, 4, 6. So the same as letter C and letter G, the reading position and the writing position for letter X is easy, does not change. Can we write together letter X? Okay. Yeah. Otherwise, apart from those 3 letters, the rest of the letters of the alphabet, we have to observe the reading position being opposite of the writing position. So I would love you to do the exercise 1 of our writing letters of the alphabet by writing a line of A space, A space, A space. You finish the line. You skip a line, you go to B space, B space, B space. You finish that line. We go to C, letter C. We write C space, C space, C space. You continue for now till when we meet in the next lecture. Bye-bye.